Hey, welcome back to learning the programming language C++. We know how to create a variable and assign it value. Now, if there are 100 numbers or variables, how can we store them efficiently instead of declaring 100 variables? In many high-level programming languages, a data structure called an array is provided to store a collection of data. An array is a data structure that stores a sequential collection of elements of the same type. In this case, we can store all 100 numbers in a single array and access each of the numbers using a single array name. To declare an array, we use the syntax element type followed by the array name and its size. The element type can be any data type, and the array will store that data type. Size must be a constant integer greater than 0. The example declares an array of 10 double-type elements. The compiler gives space for 10 double elements for an array called myArray and fills them with arbitrary values. To assign values to elements in the array, we call the array name and the index we would like to assign the value, and then assign it the value. The example assigns 4.4 to the first index of myArray. Keep in mind that index numbers of an array start at 0 in C++. Array initializer is a shorthand notation that allows us to initialize elements of an array during declaration. Its syntax is the same as that of array declaration, with the values being initialized in braces. The example declares and initializes the array myArray with 5 elements. Here array size can be omitted since you're already declaring the number of values. Array elements are accessed using integer index numbers that run from 0 to size -1. The first element is at index 0, the second element is at index 1, and so on. We use the syntax array name and the necessary index. Let's say you are dealing with an array of 10 elements. myArray 9 will represent the last element in the array myArray. Elements can be treated as regular variables when accessed by their index. It can be incremented by ++ or put into functions. Here are 2 examples of how we do that. An out-of-bounds error occurs when accessing array elements whose indexes are beyond the boundaries. Example, myArray-1 and myArray-10 are out of bounds as array size is only 10. You can loop through an array using a for each loop. Here's an example for each case to show you how to use them and how they are different from each other. The main difference is that you can use for each loop without knowing the size of the array. A multidimensional array is an array of arrays. To declare a multidimensional array, define the variable type, specify the name of the array followed by square brackets, which specify how many elements the main array has, followed by another set of square brackets, which indicates how many elements the subarrays have. Each set of square brackets in an array declaration adds another dimension to an array. An array like the one above is said to have 2 dimensions. Arrays can have any number of dimensions. The more dimensions an array has, the more complex the code becomes. To access an element of a multidimensional array, specify an index number in each of the array's dimensions. This statement accesses the value of the element in the first row, 0, and third column, 2, of the letters array. To change the value of an element, refer to the index number of the element in each of the dimensions. And to loop through a multidimensional array, we use nested loops. Strings are used for storing text or characters. A string variable contains a collection of characters surrounded by double quotes. To use strings, you must include an additional header file in the source code, the string library. The plus operator can be used between strings to add them together to make a new string. This is called concatenation. You can also use append instead to append one string to another. To get the length of a string we use .length, and to get the size we use .size. You can access characters in a string by referring to its index number inside square brackets like this. To change the value of a specific character, we refer to the index and use single quotes. The string library also has an @at function that can be used to access characters in a string. To get a string from the user, we use cin. However, cin considers space as a terminating character, which means that it can only store a single word, even if you type many words. That's why, when working with strings, we often use the getLine function to read a line of text. It takes cin as the first parameter and the string variable as the second. A pointer is a variable that stores the memory address as its value. A pointer variable points to a data type, like int or string, of the same type and is created with the asterisk operator. The address of the variable you're working with is assigned to the pointer. Look at this example where we have a string variable and a pointer variable by using the asterisk sign star. Note that the type of the pointer has to match the type of the variable you're working with. Use the AND operator to store the memory address of the variable called food and assign it to the pointer. Now, PTR holds the value of the food's memory address. We use the pointer variable to get the memory address of a variable used together with the AND reference operator. However, you can also use the pointer to get the value of the variable by using the asterisk operator, the dereference operator. You can also change the pointer's value. Note that this will also change the value of the original variable. Take a look at this example to understand it better. That's all for now. I'll see you in the next one.